Ahoy, this is Zdenka. You may have heard about the DaVinci Resolve, which is free video editing software created by Blackmagic. Well, this company came out with their own filming app for iPhones only called BLACKMAGIC Camera, and it is free. Is it any better than Filmic Pro? Because that one is paid. I've been holding off from buying Filmic Pro for some time now, but last month I bought the app because it was on a special. It was $20. It's not one-time payment. It's a subscription-based model. You have to pay yearly. Well, Blackmagic Camera is free. So this video is a tutorial for beginners. I'm gonna walk you through Blackmagic Camera. I had a chance to test it out last few days, and I will also let you know the differences between Blackmagic Camera and Filmic Pro. This is Blackmagic Camera app. Interface is nicely laid out to get all controls easily. At the top left, you can select the lens you would like to film with: ultra-wide, standard, telephoto, and front camera. The next setting is where you can select what frame rate you would like to film at. If you will be filming in 4K, you can film in 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, and 60 frames per second. If you want to film in lower resolution, you cannot just tap on the 4K icon. You have to do that in the settings. Go to Settings, and under Record, change resolution to 1080p. In this resolution, we are going to get the same frame rate options as in 4K, and one more, which is 120 frames per second. If you are going to film in 720p, you are going to get all the frame rates again, except 120 frames per second. So that one is only available in 1080p. I'm going to go back to filming in 4K resolution and select 24 frames per second. For filming in automatic mode, you just tap and lock both exposure and focus. You can also control focus manually by tapping on the focus icon and dragging the slider. Then you can manually adjust exposure by tapping on the exposure icon and dragging the slider. If you want to go back to automatic controls, just tap and hold until you see the circle with AEAF lock. Now, when you tap somewhere else, it is all automatic. The shutter speed will change depending on lighting conditions. If you want to film in manual mode, you want to set the shutter speed and use VND filter, hit the shutter icon, change to your desired shutter speed, and lock it at the top. Now you can control focus only. If you don't lock it, it will reset. It will be back to all automatic. This app doesn't have reticles such as Filmic Pro, so you cannot program exposure or focus pull. If you use DJI gimbals or Zhiyun gimbals, those gimbals are compatible with Filmic Pro and you can control the app with the gimbal directly. Blackmagic Camera doesn't have that. Next icon, iris, is given depending on the camera lens you use. That cannot be changed. Time code is in the middle. Next is ISO. Always select the lowest one for the best quality. White balance is next. You can choose one of the common ones, such as sunny, cloudy, or choose one manually and then lock it. Tint offers the same, and it can be also locked. In this app, you have to set your settings every time you are going to film. You cannot save them as a presets like you can with Filmic Pro. At the bottom of the screen, you have histogram on the left, your storage indicator in the center, and audio meters on the right. Once you hit that, if you will be using an external microphone, you can also adjust audio gain. Let's go through right side of the app. Here you have a zebra display, which lets you know what areas you have overexposed. You can turn it on and control the strength of how much you want to see. Focus assist is where you can see what is in the focus. It will be red. Again, you can turn it on and off and adjust strength. Grid has selection of rule of thirds grid, crosshair, and center dot. Those will help with framing and positioning items in the shot. Frame guides offer screen overlays, such as 1.85 by 1, 2.34 by 1, which is used for theater release. You can choose any of many aspect ratios offered. Save area guides are super helpful as well. It will help you not to get the image content too close to the edge of the screen, which could be cut off when viewed on different screens such as TV. You can enable it and adjust strength. False color will overlay color, which represents different exposure values. Pink represents optimum exposure for lighter skin tones, while green is good for darker skin tones, and red is overexposed. This is all more suitable for advanced filming. 3D LUT indicator is the last one. To be able to use this, you have to upload your own LUT in the settings. Then you enable this to see a preview of how it is going to look as you are shooting. Below we already talked about manual focus and exposure. Then we have a record button. Next is stabilization. You can turn it off or use one of these 3 levels: standard, cinematic, and extreme. I noticed that there is a very little latency or delay if you select extreme. Basically, whenever you are moving, the software has to stabilize the footage, so you are going to see that actual picture a bit later. Filmic Pro has a bigger delay. Zoom is below. That is purely digital. You can select 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, 1 time, or adjust zoom manually. Last icon is for entering metadata. The slate lets you add additional details such as shot type or project name. Swipe left or right to change the pages. Let's look at the right side. First icon is camera. We just went through this whole interface. What I didn't tell you is that if you turn the phone, you're still going to film in horizontal mode. If you want to film in vertical mode, you have to change that in the settings. The next icon on the right is media. This is where you can see your clips. You can access your phone gallery, select clips, upload them, delete them, search for certain clips, or change order, and access Blackmagic Cloud for easier transfer of the files. I opened the account there to test it. So far, nobody asked for any money, but that can change down the road. You don't, of course, have to open it. That was just me because I really wanted to see what's behind and how it's gonna work. You can still save your files directly on the phone. If you have a team, chat is where you can discuss your project with others via Blackmagic Cloud. Let's go to a big settings section. First one is record. Here you can choose codec such as Apple ProRes 422. HDR is not available in this app. That is available in Filmic Pro. Here is where you can change resolution, color space. You can select preferred timecode display, enable time-lapse recording, and if media drops frame, you can select if you want the app to give you alert or stop recording. Let's select camera page. Here you can squeeze the footage if you will be filming with anamorphic lens. You can enable earlier mentioned vertical video. Some of the other options are enabled by default, such as lens correction, use volume button to trigger record, lock white balance on record, and mirror front-facing camera. Shutter measurement offers speed or angle setting. If you need to hear when the camera starts and stops recording, you can enable the trigger record indicator. Options are beeper or beeper and flash. Audio page has all controls you need. Audio source, audio format, record audio, as here you have all 3 choices. Sample rate is next, and audio metering. Monitor page lets you customize all controls, such as focus assist color, guides opacity, guides color. You can turn off all these, or enable display upload status to Blackmagic Cloud and display battery indicator. Media page lets you select if you want to upload proxies only or originals and proxies. You can disable auto upload to select project, enable upload only over Wi-Fi, select if you want to save clips to in-app only or also to photo library. Disable save location data to clip and change file name conversion from Blackmagic Camera to iOS. LUTs is where you can upload LUTs. Blackmagic Cloud is where you can access your account. And lastly, at the bottom, you can reset Blackmagic Cam settings. There you have it. It's a free app geared towards professional filming. It certainly is a very good app, which is to be expected from Blackmagic. What you don't get is HDR, ability to save settings as presets, automatic exposure and focus pull, ability to use it with DJI and Zhiyun gimbals, and the option to film with multiple cameras at the same time, such as Double Take app by Filmic Pro offers. This is just a comparison of those 2 apps. Filmic Pro certainly still has a lot more options. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Blackmagic Camera would be adding more options down the road. Let me know in the comments below, which app do you prefer? Are you gonna give it a try and you're gonna go with the Blackmagic camera, or are you someone who still needs all the additional features which Filmic Pro offers? So that will be interesting to read in the comments below. Well, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out one of these videos next. See you in the next one. Ciao, ahoj.